will use this vast pool of confused and impoverished Haitians to commit crimes and destructions, kill for the thrill, in the name of democracy. As the day wears on, another Haitian life is wasted. The killing spree goes on, and Haiti, the country, cries out for mercy. How, for God's sake, did we get to be that way? What does that say about our state of mind? You see, more than 200 years after independence, we are still killing each other without ever realizing that we are being manipulated. We continue to shed blood today, all in the name of religion, politics, and myths that for hundreds of years have been responsible for so many deaths, torments and humiliation, so much destruction and so much suffering. Haiti has stayed poor and hungry all these years, simply because power and wealth have not been diffused throughout Haitian society. The crush of poverty is widespread, and the rural and urban masses, comprising the bulk of the population, have remained totally abandoned, totally indigent. If you are shocked about what you've just seen or heard, or about the everlasting terror that is gripping Haiti today, brace yourself. We are going to embark into a dark journey, and you will witness firsthand how, through the subtle use of conditioning and manipulation, the reasons why Haiti and most Haitians are swimming in the tangled mess that they are in today. The history of Haiti is indeed a sad one. Before Christopher Columbus had set sail into the island, Arawak Indians occupied the island of Hispaniola, and the whole island was divided into 5 kingdoms. The native Arawak Indians had lived there for centuries with an exhilarating sense of freedom. They lived by a single creed: discipline, solidarity, and respect. Then arrived Christopher Columbus. December 6, 1492, when Christopher Columbus, searching for a route to Asia, landed on Hispaniola and claimed it for the Spanish crown. What is now Haiti became part of the Spanish colony, and the curse of misery for the inhabitants of the island was sealed. Within days after their arrival, the Spaniards, in their lust for wealth, began to invade the other kingdoms to steal and kill the Indians for their gold. The Spaniards introduced Christianity, forced labor, murder, rape, and strange diseases throughout the island. The Spaniards hunted the Indians down like animals, murdered and enslaved them unmercifully. Those who were not killed immediately were brutally tortured to death. All the Indians were now turned into slaves. Some Indians starved themselves rather than work the gold mines. The forced mass starvation, slavery, and the lowest form of human degradation was brought to bear out of hatred for the Indians and greed for their gold. Following the hanging deaths of the Indian kings, with them gone, so did the last vestige of the indigenous Arawak Indians. By 1519, only 500 of the original Indians of Hispaniola had survived the violent and brutal Holocaust by the Spaniards. A violent end for a peaceful people who had been deceived, betrayed, and ravaged for their kindness and trust by insidious invaders. Before slaves were imported to Hispaniola, Columbus and his men had systematically exterminated almost all of its early inhabitants in their greed to extract the abundant deposit of gold on the island. As a result of a mass destruction of the Indians by Columbus and his men, African slaves were imported to replace the Indians. Thus is the legacy of Christopher Columbus. He was, let us dare to admit, the enemy of values, the absolute evil. It was he who had brought armed men and guns to an island at peace. It was he who had brought enemies of our liberty. It was he who had brought the chains of slavery to our shores. It was he who had betrayed, enslaved, tortured, murdered, exploited and subjugated our peaceful ancestors. It was he. Because of that legacy, many Haitians of today are burdened with social inequities and injustices that are firm from birth, as these unfortunate Haitians became confined to an everlasting life of struggle. Slavery was introduced in Haiti by papal decree in 1503 by this man, Nicolas de Ovando, and enforced in 1516 by the Dominican priest Bartolomé de las Casas. The slave trade to Haiti was also encouraged and financed by the blessings of the Catholic Church. Yes, the Catholic Church. Mr. de las Casas wanted to save the souls of the Indians, keep them away from the rigor of hard labor and slavery. But the tragedy of Mr. de las Casas' plea to save the Indians came at the expense of the African slaves. A trade and method of production so cruel and immoral, and from which in part so much blood and so much suffering and economic tyranny prospered.